Hey guys, Wes here with Cheap Trains. Today I'm going to be doing a quick little video on soldering. The method that I use is apparently what I do is different than other videos that have been out there, so I've been told. So I'm just going to show you here on my flex track, or sorry, my easy track. So I use a toothpick for my flux. I put my flux down in my rail joiner on both sides. Another thing you don't want to do is put on too much flux. So make sure your connection's where you want it. If that's on, I'll put just another little bit on the outside of the rail. As you guys seen, I used very little flux. Grab my electrical solder. I'm going to move the camera here. You also want to make sure your soldering iron is nice and hot. Heat up your joint. And you should see just a little discoloration starting in the top of your rail. And that's it. So on the other side, you can see the flux heat up and it gets sucked right down that rail joint. On discoloration. And I also try to focus most of my heat on the rail joiner because heat rises obviously. So you want that rail joiner to get hot, which will warm up your track. And that's going to draw your solder down into the connection there. And then with this is a piece of sandpaper, but I'm just using the back side of it. That cardboard should be just aggressive enough to clean up the top of your track. That won't come apart. That's a little closer. Here's the other ones I just did. If it picks it up, but there's not a lot of solder everywhere. Doesn't look like someone took a blowtorch to it. I got all my soldering theory from brazing. At work I have to join together sometimes like 6-inch diameter copper nickel piping. Requires a heck ton more heat, but all the theories are the exact same. If you guys do that, you'll use a lot less solder and flux and have a lot less mess. And you shouldn't burn any of your rail track up. Just the second you see the discoloration starting on top of your rail, that's hot enough. Oh yeah. You guys also haven't noticed, I've got my non-DCC loop all done. I just got a 2 million connections there to solder. I got some more flux track down here. Got this mountain started and I realized last night that I put it in the wrong spot. I wanted this here because this is where my rock quarry is going. In here I was going to put my different shelves for different rock grade. Okay. Right there. And I realized that's where I want my turnout to go, to come down here to a siding for loading gravel. So I might end up coming, this one's going to come down here to a turnout to 2 different tracks. So I might end up putting another turnout further down this main line, coming up here, following this out, and having my gravel pit up on the side now. I really like the look of that rock wall, so I might carry that down a bit further. Maybe have like the storage yard over here for the piles, loading area up here somewhere. I left my plans up in my bedroom, and I didn't want to go up and get it, and I should have, because I would have realized that's where my turnout's supposed to go. There's one thing I forgot to add. If you don't have a soldering iron already, and you're going to get one, if you're like me, you want the least expensive one you can get. Make sure the soldering iron you get is capable of melting your your solder. This one here goes up to, I think it's 700 degrees. Solder melts at 430. So if you go out and you spend $15 on a soldering iron, but it only heats up to 402, you're going to be there all day waiting for your solder to melt. And the way to tell if your joint's good, you don't have to try to pull it apart. If you look on the back side, so I soldered over here, but if you look on this part of the rail inside the joiner, you can see where the solder flowed with the heat, went down, and actually wrapped up around to the back of the track. Letting you know that your joint's good. And this is where I've been doing my soldering. I actually wasn't doing it on my layout, in case you guys were wondering. You want a nice flat surface. Even if you're putting your track on an incline, or anything, any type of grade. You still want your track flat to start with, and then you when you put it back onto your layout, it'll move as one piece, so you'll have a lot less problems with derailments or anything. I was doing some soldering today, so I figured I'd throw up a video on that. Hope you found this useful. Don't be afraid to give a thumbs up, leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And until next time, keep running the rails. Bye.